Ah, yes. Whatever happened to Three Dog Night? One of the only bands I can think of that did all cover songs. They didn't write their own material. You know somebody who does write his own material? Dan in Sonoma. He writes his own material, and he'll be here all week. Dan, what's up?
Well, on the call prep board is not the easiest to do because the media is mixing and matching. For example, the story that came out, the big story, of course, was Merrick Garland being censored or whatever. Yeah, right. I mean,
in contempt.
I'm delighted he was had a contempt citation against him because of what he's done. But the media, looking through the media, through the so-called mainstream, they've dropped that story immediately. They don't want to talk about it. That is so damning because of what what he's hiding, the cognitive issues, and they're substantial, complete, severe with Joe Biden. So they're again, the media is protecting Joe Biden at all costs. This is why I continue to say will be Joe Biden as their nominee. They have something up their sleeve, obviously, another way to cheat to get him into office. And again, nothing else I can see tells me differently. The other story here that has bothered me quite a bit is, there's been a lot of talk about, Ukraine and how we have to stand with Ukraine. We can't allow Russia to take over that region, blah, blah, blah. Even people like Mark Levin have weighed in on that sort of thing. Mark Levin is wrong, but not to stop Putin and Russia's from their advance. But as I've always said, it's not the way they're doing it. The methodology is completely wrong. You just don't throw money at the situation. But the real nation you need to save far more than Ukraine is Israel. And Israel is being just bombarded left and right. Currently, they're being attacked from the north from Hezbollah. And the timing of this is very suspect because, again, they keep saying they're at the 5-yard line regarding dealing with Hamas. They're almost done with this. They're just having to be very careful picking out their hostages and all that. It's a very tedious and delicate situation. And, of course, Hezbollah wants to add to that. Hezbollah is a proxy of Iran. Iran is being funded by Joe Biden to the tune of how many hundreds of billions of dollars have gone into that war effort. But I wanted to focus on, have you ever heard of a name, Sean, called Yahya Sinwar?
No, I have not.
Most people have Yahya Sinwar, and you can't make these names up.
I can.
The last name spells like it sounds, Sinwar. He is the crime boss of Hamas.
Seems
He's
like
the one
a nice
who coordinated.
guy.
Oh yeah, he's a sweetheart. He coordinated the entire October 17th attack on Israel. He's the one behind the scenes, and he's coordinated this in such a way, whereas that he's allowed to have his thugs destroy and kill as many people as possible in Israel. Yet they have focused the blame on. Had the media, the UN, everyone focusing the blame on Israel for defending themselves, including this latest rescue 4 hostages. The way it was phrased, or the way it's been written, rather, is that Israel has no right to be defending itself, to be shooting people, even to get their own hostages who've been in captivity for more than a year, or almost a year.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, though, because they don't think Israel should exist. So, of course, they have no right to defend themselves.
Well, as I said the other day, that the racist hatred towards Jews is worse than it was in World War II, and that's after saying, after the Germany killed 6.5 million of them. The reason why I say that is because the racism, from what I can tell from history, I wasn't alive back in those days, was localized to certain nations. Now this racism is virtually worldwide. I can't think of one country that doesn't hate or have an element within their country that hates Jews and hates Israel and wants them to be destroyed, wants Hamas to take over that region. The river to the sea phrase. It's pretty sick and surreal. And go back to this guy Sinwar. Joe Biden gave him $1.5 billion this week or so ago.
What?
And we know, again, under the guise of helping the Palestinian refugees, blah, 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 maybe a few dollars, if any, actually is going to get to those refugees. All of that is going to Sinwar. So we are funding this war as well. I mean, the evil and corruption, there doesn't seem to be an end to it. It's a bottomless pit of evil in this Biden administration. They're funding all the wrong people, all the people that do need funding, you and I. We aren't getting anything. And this explains in part why this country is crumbling right before our eyes.
Conform or be cast out, Dan.
Oh, we've already been cast out.
Pretty much. You know, I'm fairly well depressed now. It's a good thing the segment is over. I need to go to my safe room.
We don't need a safe room. My safe room has all my comic books in it.
Yeah, well, I do have some radios in the other room, so maybe I'll go call CQ.
Yeah, I'm going to go into my fetal position now. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you, Dan. You're a fine American.
And a lousy Mexican.